Hey everyone, welcome back. This is the video for practice 2 for April 13th through April 15th. All right, let's dive right in. Number 1, we have QRS drawn on our graph here, and they want us to graph the dilation of QRS after a scale factor of 3/2 centered at the origin, and then they want us to use slopes to explain why Q prime R prime is parallel to QR. So we got a bunch of stuff going on here. Okay, so first we need to find the coordinates of Q prime, R prime, and S prime. So this is a scale factor of 3/2. So all we're going to do is we're going to take our coordinates for Q, R, and S, and then we're just going to multiply those points by 3/2, and that'll give us our coordinates for Q prime, R prime, and S prime. So Q is at where? It's at -2, -2. -2, +2, excuse me. R is at 2, 0, and S is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 6. And as I said, all we're going to do is just multiply each of these by 3/2, and we will get our images. So for Q, if we multiply 3/2 by -2 and 2, the 2's are going to cancel each other out and just leaving us with 3. So we're going to be left with -3 and 3. So this is Q prime. R, again, so 2 times 3/2 is just 3, and anything times 0 is 0, so this is our R prime. And now if we do 3/2 times 4, the 2, the 2 and the 4 can reduce down, so the 2 goes away and the 4 gets reduced to 2, so then we have 2 times 3, which gives us 6. And then 6 times 3/2, the 2 reduces with the 6 to give us 3, and then 3 times 3 gives us 9. So this is our S prime. All right, so now we have our coordinates, so all we're going to do is plot these bad boys. And we have -3, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And this is Q prime. R is at 3, 0. This is R prime. And then S is at 6, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. S prime. Pardon the drawing. Probably a little crappy, but that's all right. You get the gist. And now we can answer our question. So using what we know about slopes and dilation, explain why QR is parallel to Q prime R prime. Well, Q prime and R prime is parallel to QR because, well, we know that um, dilation preserves parallelism. So that is what we're going to write, because dilation preserves parallelism. All right, not terrible, not terrible. All right, let's move on to number 2. 2 and 3 are dealing with a review of slopes, just to get you ready for the upcoming lessons that we're going to have. So what is the slope of the line that passes through those 2 points? All right, well, this one is just straight up slope formula. So our slope formula is y2 minus y1 all divided by x2 minus x1. If you need to, you can just label these guys. I'm going to call this one my x1, this one my y1, x2, y2. If that helps you out, just to see like where everything is. So then we can just substitute in and solve. Our y2 is -6, and I am subtracting my y1, which is 3. And then I have -2 is my x2, and I'm subtracting a -5. I like to write my subtracting negatives like this, just so that I don't get confused. So -6 minus 3, that's going to give me -9. And then -2 minus a -5, well, the minus and negative is going to turn into a positive, so that's -2 plus 5, which gives me 3. And then -9 divided by 3, well, that is just -3. So that is my slope. So for number 3 is asking the same exact question, just 2 different points. All right, so again, I'm going to label these things. This is my x1, y1, x2, and y2. I always like to rewrite my formula just so that it sticks inside my head better. If you write it down every single time, you're a better chance that you are going to memorize it that much faster. So my y2 is 1. I am subtracting a -3. And my x2 is 2. I am subtracting a -4. So I have that scenario this time on the top and the bottom. Minus a negative turns into a positive. So on top I have 1 plus 3, which is 4. And then on the bottom I have 2 subtracting a -4, which turns into 2 plus 4, which gives me 6. And 4/6 can be reduced down into 2/3 by dividing by 2 on both the top and the bottom. And my slope is 2/3. All right. Well, this one wasn't so bad. I hope this video helped. As always, be safe and be healthy. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.